So the reason I'm making this video is because I forgot to mention a few things that I needed to mention, but I'll just mention them now. So the first thing that I want to go over is the most common FPS values that you'll see in runs. Now, the most common is obviously 30 and 60. That's just the basis of how it is. If I go to this run, let's say, let's pause, and let's go for stats for nerds. It'll be 30. Very rarely you'll see anything other than 30 and 60. And of course, you should probably be familiar with 30 and 60 things. 60, what's it called? Milliseconds, yes. You should be familiar with those. And the other one is 45, which is it's kind of more rare than those, but it's still fairly common. And of course, the least common, most common FPS value is 24. There's almost never any other videos that have other than those four values: 24, 30, 45, and 60. So the other thing that I wanted to mention is how in every chapter, except chapter 4, there's one trick you can use to figure out the where to actually load. And chapter 2 is actually another exception, kind of, but not exactly. So let me mute, and then let me first go to actually the first load, which should be somewhere around 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes, just about 5 minutes. And here we are. So the thing that I really do want to mention is, of course, in every run, once the loading please wait, the first frame that this appears is, of course, the frame that you have to go to. Alright, so the last thing that I want to say is, well, I already mentioned it briefly. Basically, chapter 4 is a very odd chapter for retiming. Because in the chapter, when you see the rules, there's this whole fourth section. Now, if you look in any other chapter, view rules, there's only 3 sections. In witch trials, there's only 3 sections. Well, there's 4 sections, but that's because you can get the monster stuck. But that's really for glitches. That's all of glitches. Book 1, yeah, there's 3. And technically the third one isn't a rule for chapters 1 and 2, but for chapter 4, right. Chapter 4 has the whole 4th section. So this section is prefacing when the load times is cut. Because for the 4th chapter, it's a lot different. It's way different. Surprisingly. Because we're going to preface every single thing. Also, this shell is a butterfly. I kinda missed, I really didn't know what it was, so I just wrote a shell. Anyways. And of course, nightmare and normal is very different. So that's really the 3 main things that'll help you complete this form right here. Now, I can't tell you what the questions are, because that would be cheating, but hey, that's basically it. So, hope you do well, I guess.